Ukulele Pinball Wizard lesson. Before we get started, the first thing I want to say is you have to get comfortable, in my humble opinion, with the chords that are basically on the ukulele, that are the A shape and the D shape. So here's your A chord, there's your D chord. But when you go up to the second fret, of course, that chord in the A shape, that's a B, and the chord in the D shape, that's an E, right? So A, D, B, E. So those are vital chords for this song. And I firmly believe that making bar chords is the way to do it. Doing this kind of thing, you got to be able to move fast. Okay, so let's take it back to the beginning. So at the very beginning of the song, Molly and I play this series of chords that are basically, it's this bit right over here. And what we're doing is we're starting with a B minor, and I'm doing variations on the B minor chord, but you can just hold that B minor chord with all downstrokes like this. And then we get to here and you can move to an F sharp. So this F sharp, this is the form of a D, right? It's the same three notes, but you have to bar it at the 4th fret. So here's your B minor, which is an A minor, form of an A minor, barred at the 2nd fret. And then we're going to go up to the F sharp, barred at the 4th fret. And then we're going to change this to an F sharp minor, which is similar to like an E minor. It's just up at the 4th fret instead of the 2nd fret. And then back to an F sharp major. Okay, so that's the intro to the song. That's a little small bit. Now here comes the first major part of the song, and this is, of course, the verse. This is what everybody thinks of when they think of Pinball Wizard. Now I'm suggesting you do the, it's the shape of a G chord, but you're up here at the 6th fret, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you've got your dots here. So the top of the, I always think of the G chord as a triangle, right? It looks kind of like a triangle. You've got your 2 down on the bottom and your point up here. So the top of the triangle is on this dot on your fretboard. Now, the key to this chord is that you have to mute this C note. So what I do is I kind of hang my thumb over here. So you're just playing these 3 strings. And you're alternating with your pinky here to make it a sus, and then dropping the pinky. So it's a B chord. So again, you're making the shape of a G chord up on the 6th fret, and you're muting this string, and then you're using your pinky to alternate a sus chord. So this is the, now the strum pattern is not as frantic as you might think. So this is how I'm playing it. Now let's slow this down. So sped up, it sounds frantic, but it really is a pretty controlled strum pattern. Now, okay, so as the verse goes, you're starting up here on the 6th fret, and then you're going to be moving this shape down exactly as it is 2 frets at a time. So you start here on the 6th fret. Ever since I was a young boy, I played that silver ball, and I moved down 2 frets. From Soho down to Brighton, I must have played them all. Same thing, you're muting this string, and you're using your pinky to do the sus. So again, 6th fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret, and then 1st fret. So this is where you do a half step on the last one. Deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. All right, so let's do that again. So from the 6th fret. Ever since I was a young boy, I played that silver ball. From Soho down to Brighton, I must have played them all. But I ain't seen nothing like him in the amusement hall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. All right, so that's the first major section of the song, is the triangle shape, as I call it, starting on the 6th fret and working your way down to the 1st fret. Okay, so the next major section, and this is where we get into those bar chords that I was talking about earlier. After you say "Short plays a mean pinball," you get this little section. To play along with this, the chords are B, A, D, E. Okay, so again, it's those 4 chords. They're all in that same box. So you've got B and the A are the same chord shapes. It's just 2nd fret to open. And then the D and the E are the same chord shape, but you go from 2nd fret up to the bar chord, okay? So again, B to A, and then D to E. So we'll play it at speed. So also why I suggest using the bar, because that way you don't have to change the shape of these fingers at all. Excuse me here. Everything just stays where it is. And if you try to like do something like this, you can't move your fingers that fast. So for efficiency's sake, again, I'm making my A with these same 2 fingers, but so you're starting with the bar for the B, releasing the bar, moving down, and then using your middle finger to make your D as if it's a bar, and then rolling that up again to the 2nd fret bar here. Okay, so that's a major section. So that happens several times during the song. Now, after that, you go back up to this triangle bit. Again, muting the low string and using your pinky as the sus. And then when you get down to the end of this one, again, you know, sure plays a mean pinball. You get to the last major section, and that's Pinball Wizard, There Has to Be a Twist. And that section is played with an E, F sharp, B. So again, you're in the same box of chords. You're using this, well, I'll call it the D shape, or you're playing in an E, and then you're just rolling it up 2 frets to an F sharp. So you're not changing anything on the left hand. You're just you're making your E, moving it up to an F sharp, and then you're changing it to a B, which is your A form of that chord, right? So that's where the bar comes in super handy, because it's so efficient. E, F sharp, B. So this finger, this stays firmly anchored. 2nd fret, 4th fret, and then back down to the 2nd fret. It's just the middle finger. So this chord, up 2 frets, and then down to the B. So short plays, it's Pinball Wizard, Has to Be a Twist. Pinball, he's a pinball wizard, there has to be a twist. Pinball Wizard, yeah? So it's just those 3 chords, and you do that 3 times. And then after the third one, you go to a G, which is a chord we know. Such a supple wrist to a D. So let's do that in time. He's a pinball wizard, there has to be a twist. A pinball wizard's got such a supple wrist. And that's just a little sus. I'm using my pinky to throw on the D chord. He's a pinball wizard, there has to be a twist. A pinball wizard's got such a supple wrist. All right, so those are your three major sections of the song. So again, it's your triangle chord, it's up here on the 6th fret, your thumb muting this string, and your pinky doing the sus. And then you move down 2 frets, move down another 2 frets, and move down 1 fret. And then he's a pinball wizard, has to be a twist. A pinball wizard's got such a supple wrist. Okay, then there's one little minor bit here, which is how do you think he does it? I don't know. You just stay on the D. How do you think he does it? I don't know. What makes him so good? Now, the only change I'm making to this D chord is I'm occasionally lifting up my pinky to make a sus2. So instead of this sus4, where I put the pinky up, you drop the pinky and you got a sus2. How do you think he does? I don't know. What makes him so good? And then you return back to the B. In here no buzz and bells, don't see no lights flashing, placed by sense of smell. Always gets a replay, digit counters fall. That deaf, dumb, blind kid sure plays a mean pin. Now, thought I was the Bally Table King. Again, this is going to be the E, F sharp, B, Bally Table King. But I just handed again to the G. Pinball cried to him. All right. Here's the last major section of the song. It's very similar, but it modulates up, which we know from the vocals because it moves up to a D. So now you're making the same triangle shape as you were at the beginning of the song, but you're moving it all the way up to here. And so in this case, the top of your triangle is here at this dot on your fretboard. This is a D. You run out of space really fast, so your fat little fingers have to fit in here. But the pattern is the same. Now you're gonna move down 2 frets at a time. He can find my favorite table, he can beat my best. The disciples lead him in, and he just does the rest. He's got crazy flipping fingers, the digit counters fall. And then the last one again is just a single fret. Deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. All right, you've successfully gotten to the end. There's just one tiny little bit here. So you're ending on that deaf, dumb, blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. Now those chords, the last 4 chords of the song, are D, C, F, B flat to A. Now that B flat, it's right here in this box. Instead of, because before you were doing this, it's the shape, the A shape of the chord, but you're barring on the 1st fret instead of the 2nd fret, right? Because that 2nd fret was where you barred for the B. Well, for the B flat, you're just moving it down to the 1st fret. So your index finger's barring that 1st fret. So, again, that last sure plays a mean pinball, plays a mean pinball, which is D, C, F, B flat, A. To go from the B flat to the A, you just lift off the bar and roll it down a single fret. And those are all the bits of the song. So I'm going to take it over to a separate video and I'll play the whole thing from start to finish with the guitar over on this other side, and so you can see how all the bits fit together. Hope this is helpful. Plays a mean pin.